So my husband's family is well aware of how much money I make at my job, so every time I see them they continuously try to take advantage of me. "Oh, why don't you pay for dinner?" "Oh, can I borrow $50? Well, you know what, guys, I'm kind of getting sick of it, and the fact that my husband is not standing up for me, it's just really, really getting to me. So I'm going to do something about it. Hello, everyone. My name is Thea, and I currently work in the tech industry. I'm the CIO of my company, which means, well, in layman's terms, I make a lot of money. And recently I realized that my husband's family exploits me for it. Me and my husband Matt met at a friend's wedding 6 years ago, and I was a friend of the bride while he was the friend of the groom. We met and began talking, and we could not stop talking. I wasn't the CIO back then, but I still earned a lot, and I earned more than him. So I never talked about my earnings with him in the beginning of our relationship in the fear of emasculating him. Well, I shouldn't have worried because he was very supportive, and I initially just felt stupid for being scared. When I got promoted to being the CIO at such a young age, he was over the moon. I mean, the promotion, of course, came with a hefty salary raise. I'm very extravagant of a person, and I like being surrounded by luxury, and I like throwing parties. So when Matt proposed, I just knew that I was going to throw an extravagant wedding. Matt let me do whatever I wanted with our wedding, and I went all out. You should see the pictures. I mean, they're quite exquisite. I made sure that the food was top-notch and that the decor was absolutely breathtaking. We had a beautiful wedding at a small castle for rent. It had absolutely gorgeous scenery in the background. I think internally I wanted to impress Matt's family, and I did just that. They all loved the venue and the food, and they had a good time eating and dancing. Even the inside of the castle was breathtaking, and nobody had anything bad to say about the wedding. They only say good things about our wedding to this day. I've always been very generous with my money, and I firmly believe that if I can make people's lives easier with money, I should donate to charities that I believe in regularly, and I often offer to pay for all the expenses when I'm out with family and friends. I do think it's my love language. Over the years, I've been very generous towards Matt and his family. I usually take care of the bills whenever we go out for family dinners and gatherings. When I was younger, I didn't have many friends because I was a huge nerd. I wasn't close to my family either, who didn't really understand technology very much. I felt very alienated, so when Matt's family was very accepting towards me, I felt the need to repay their love for me by paying for dinners and vacations. I used to give my mother-in-law Lucy and sister-in-law Lena expensive birthday gifts and took them out on expensive brunches almost weekly without anything in return. All I wanted was for them to love me and fully accept me, and I thought that they did until I found out the truth. I overheard Lucy and Delina gossiping about me a few weeks ago. I was at my father-in-law's birthday celebration at their house when I overheard them. They were talking about how irresponsible I am with money and calling me stupid for always paying for them and giving them expensive gifts. While they had nothing to do because I was so desperate to be liked by everyone, they even speculated that I must be proud, that I must be why I felt like flaunting my money like that, just to show everyone that I earned more than everybody. I was very hurt by this because I had always just wished for them to like me. That was why I always paid for the dinners and gifts, and not because I wanted to flaunt my money. Well, they never even brought this up to me, so clearly they love getting free stuff from me, but they still talked about me behind their back. I was hurt and began reminiscing about the times I paid for them and how they even used to say thank you to me. Clearly, they were using me for my money and only pretended to like me to my face. So I also began thinking about how my husband uses me for money as well, and not because he truly loves me. No, I'm the one who pays for most of the household. I'm the one responsible for the bills and groceries. I also bought our house on my own, and even his car was bought with my own money. It made me reevaluate my whole marriage with Matt, but I didn't want to jump to any conclusions regarding him until he made it very clear that his family is way more important to him than his wife. Well, my mother-in-law's birthday was coming up, so I decided to keep this revelation to myself. And honestly, with you guys, I just wanted to take revenge against the people who thought so lowly of me, even though I've been paying for them for years. I wanted to humiliate them just as much as I felt humiliated by them that day, so I decided that my mother-in-law's birthday was the absolute perfect occasion. I've been talking about a restaurant during the day, and I overheard Lucy and Lena. I was asking them if they would be interested in having the birthday party at this fancy restaurant. They were all eager to go there. I didn't cancel these plans even after knowing everything because I did have some ulterior motives, you see. On the day of the birthday, my in-laws and their friends ate a lot of fancy food, thinking that I would be the one who pays like every time. But this time I was not going to pay. They had taken me for granted for far too long, and I was going to teach them a lesson. When the bill came, it was passed down to me, and I immediately asked the waiter to get me a separate bill, only for the food that I ate. My in-laws went crazy on hearing that, especially my mother-in-law Lucy. She asked me, what am I doing? Wasn't this party on me? Well, I told her that I never said that I was throwing this party. It was her birthday, and she decided to celebrate it. Not I. Well, shouldn't she or her husband, or maybe even her son, be the one to throw this party for her? Well, that did not go over as well as I wanted it to, and my mother-in-law and sister-in-law began calling me names. Yeah, Lucy called me stingy for not paying for everything like I usually do, and she accused me that I was trying to humiliate her in front of everyone. Well, I told her that she was humiliating herself by screaming like this, and then I revealed that I overheard her and her daughter talking about how stupid I am, always letting them take advantage of me because I was desperate for them to like me. So from now on, I was never going to pay for any of them. Yep, that's when Matt jumped in and told me to shut up and pay, and that was the moment I knew Matt did not care for me alone. He cared for my money. Matt told me that I was embarrassing him and that I needed to stop all this nonsense, and when I refused, he began to scream at me like his mother was doing just before him. I was heartbroken at how, he was speaking to me in front of everyone, but I stood my ground. I told him to stop expecting me to pay for everything. He needs to grow up and take some responsibility himself. I don't even know what he spends his own money on at this point. When he and his mother would not stop insulting me, I just left. I told Matt to sleep at his mom's house because he wasn't invited to the house that I paid for. I humiliated him thoroughly, and I don't regret it one bit. I stood up for myself. Clearly, they all see me as their personal ATM instead of a person they value. It was humiliating finding out that the people you wanted to be loved by only pretended to love you because you paid for them. I was very shocked and hurt when I overheard Lucy and Lena, and it is the next day, and Matt has not dared to come back home. And if he did, he would have been forced to sleep on the lawn because I'm furious at him for insulting me just like his mother was doing. I guess the apple really doesn't fall too far from the tree. However, I thought about it last night, and maybe I was being too harsh on them. Maybe I took their insults to heart, and instead of just moving on and stopped paying for them silently, I made a scene and humiliated everyone. Initially, I was seething with anger, but now all the anger was shriveled up like a balloon. My question to you guys is, am I the a-hole for going and taking revenge for my mother-in-law, saying such mean things about me behind my back? I'll update you guys if anything happens. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddit here. I hope you're enjoying your day. So, OP is being treated like an ATM. Me personally, I would not stand for it either, and I think OP made the right decision. But there is more to come. So let's jump into the first update. And if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, take a second and hit that subscribe button, guys. Here is update number 1. Hey everyone, it's Thea here. So last week I told you guys about how I humiliated my in-laws by not paying for my mother-in-law's party after I overheard her and her daughter calling me stupid and other things because of how I spend my money on them while they do nothing for me in return. You wouldn't believe what the public scene created by my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and husband led to. So get this. Sally, a mutual friend of mine and Matt, approached me a few days ago, who was also present at my mother-in-law's birthday party. Matt had not returned in the meantime, and what Sally told me really broke my spirit. See, Sally revealed that she and my husband have been having an affair for the past 3 years. She told me that they hooked up for the first time at our wedding, and hearing that shocked me to the core. Apparently, they dated a long time before he or she met me, but they never seemed to have worked it out. I was speechless as she explained how much she loved my husband and how seeing that we did not get along gave her the strength to come up to me. Apparently, she saw us fighting and realized how imperfect we were together. She wanted me to divorce Matt because we were clearly ill-matched, and she loved him. She went on and on about how I could never make Matt happy, but she can. When she said that, guys, I burst into hysterics laughing. First of all, I couldn't believe that Matt could ever do something like this to me after everything I've done for him. But then I realized that it was only ever about my money. I asked Sally if she was stupid. I asked her if she thought Matt really loved her. He clearly wasn't with me because he loved me. He was with me for the money. I asked her if she even had half of the money that I did. And yeah, I know thinking back it was a crappy thing to say, but she's my husband's mistress. Yeah, and her speechlessness. I told her she was delusional if she thinks Matt would marry her if I divorced them. I made sure to break her spirits by telling her that if she thinks Matt loves her, she's just nothing more than naive. Matt only loves money, which she can never be providing of. How would Matt feel when he found out that she revealed his affair to his wife? I made sure that she knew that Matt would leave her now that she has ruined the marriage with his personal ATM. And guys, I shut the door in Miss Mistress's face. So I sent the divorce papers to Matt yesterday, and he immediately called me on receiving them, asking if I was petty enough to divorce him because of a small disagreement. I laughed and told him that I knew about his affair with Sally. She came and told me herself, wishing I would divorce him and he would marry her. Matt was absolutely left speechless after that. I asked him what he would do now that he won't have a wife to pay for all the bills in the house, and I laughed and hung up the phone. I've been playing things cool with people, but internally, I'm truly, truly hurt. The past few weeks have been hit after hit after hit, and I can't believe the worst thoughts I had about Matt when I overheard Lucy and Lena talking about me weren't even comparable to what he did to me in real life. I feel so used and run out. I feel so angry. I just want to disappear. I gave 6 years to that man, and he was sleeping with another woman for 3 of them. I feel like such an idiot. What's up, guys? So reading about Thea's struggles with her husband's family, it hits hard. It's pretty disheartening to see somebody realizing that they've been taken advantage of, especially by the people that they thought loved them, right? What would you do? Sometimes people can be really selfish. Her family and husband got mad at her just because she stopped shouldering the burden of all their finances alone after all these years. Just because it wasn't her burden to bear from the beginning, and instead of being grateful, they badmouth her behind her back. I think it's over the top. Okay, but let's add to her misery by she's finding out now that her husband's been cheating on her for the past 3 years. Well, I wish all the love and support to this pure soul. Guys, we do have an update coming up. Here is update number 2. Hey, it's Thea. So, a month ago, I sent my husband Matt divorce papers when his mistress came forward and revealed his infidelity to me. Thinking that Matt would go ahead and marry her when it's clear as day that Matt only loves money, I was trying to move on from this bad experience as much as I could. I was drowning myself in work, hoping to forget about everything that happened in the past few months, and it hasn't worked yet. but I really don't want to face my feelings right now. However, I got a very shocking visitor yesterday, and I thought I would have some fun with them. I was coming back home from a long day of work when I spotted my mother-in-law Lucy sitting on the porch waiting for me. I was 3 hours late when I usually returned home, so thinking that she might have been waiting for 3 hours, my return outside in the heat made me feel internally satisfied. So Lucy stood up to me immediately, apologizing for what I overheard her and her daughter talking about all those weeks ago. Honestly, I was over it by now after Matt's infidelity reveal, but I felt petty and angry, and I wanted to hurt everyone and anyone around me that I dislike. Lucy apologized for screaming at me and told me that I should not punish Matt for her mistakes. I was shocked to find out that she didn't know that Matt cheated, so I told her about it as I opened the door. Lucy reassured me that she had no idea about it as she followed me in, and I let her. I was honestly tired and just wanted to get this conversation over with without any more drama. Lucy told me that if she had known, she would have reprimanded Matt for his behavior earlier. She tells me that Matt's actions are not a reflection of her. She tells me that she was truly regretful of how everything went down between us, and I just told her that I was exhausted and needed to be left alone. That's when she jumped on the opportunity to exploit me and my money further. She told me that we should go on a girls' vacation, just me, her, and Delina as friends. I was internally rolling my eyes so hard, but a petty plan was brewing in my brain all the while, so I played along with Lucy. Well, Lucy told me that we could just relax and have a fun time like we used to when no one knew of Matt's infidelity. She said that she missed me and did not want her son's mistakes to cause distance between us. I sighed and pretended to listen to her suggestion. Seriously, by the end, I agreed to go on a vacation with her and Lena and let her out of my home. Of course, I had no intentions of going through with any of it, but I have a revenge plan. I hate this family, and I'll take up any opportunity to absolutely humiliate them for everything that they did to me. Update number 3. Hey guys, it's Thea here. So 2 weeks ago, I told you about my mother-in-law trying to come back into my life and go on a vacation on my money. I pretended to agree with her that day because I had an ulterior motive and another revenge plan. For the past 2 weeks, I've been in full contact with my mother-in-law, Lucy, and sister-in-law, Lena. I've been hyping them up, explaining in full detail all the fun and relaxing things that we're going to do in Italy. They've been very excited about our plans, so much so that they've been telling everyone about it, just like I had hoped. My ex-husband, Matt, had immediately called me when he found out about our plans. He called me to tell me how embarrassing I am, still wanting his family's acceptance even though our divorce is in progress. He told me that I'm stupid because his mother and sister have been making fun of me nonstop, just simply telling everyone about Matt's stupid wife, who was naive enough to take them on an expensive vacation even after the divorce. I tried not to laugh at him and his family and goaded him further, asking who else they've been telling this to. He revealed that they're telling everyone about my stupidity. Who would hear them? He thought that it would hurt me, but it only confirmed that my plans were successful. A few hours ago was when, we had decided to meet outside the airport for the flight to Italy. And guess who doesn't have the tickets? Lucy and Lena. I saw them come to the airport and wait for me to arrive, and while I was already inside observing them, when I didn't immediately show up, they dialed my number. So Lena asked me where I was, and I told them that I was already inside. They should turn around, and they were so happy when they spotted me. We even waved to each other, and they asked me to give them their tickets so they could join me, and that's when I laughed. I told them I didn't get any tickets. I'm not their ATM machine or even their family. Their faces fell, and I saw it in real time. They said that, I promised to get their tickets and everything. So I told them that I was messing with them. Why would I pay for my ex-in-law's vacation expenses? They were horrified and so angry. But I don't know how angry because I walked inside after clicking a picture of them screaming to preserve this moment forever, leaving them behind utterly humiliated. They've told everyone about my stupidity, but what will they say to them when I've left them standing at the airport? Well then, just to make sure everyone knew that they had not been invited to my trip to Italy, I made sure to post about going on a solo trip to Italy from the airport itself while I waited for the boarding. I know his family still watches my social media. Now they'll know how I humiliated Lucy and Lena once again for using me for my money. Final update. Hey guys, it's Thea here with one last update. It's been about a month since my last update, where I went to Italy for vacation and left my humiliated in-laws for using me for money. I spent a very relaxing month in Italy. I toured all the places and saw all the historic sites. I ate good food and drank amazing wine, and I sat down to observe some picturesque sceneries. I treated myself with a lot of clothes from designer boutiques, and of course, I relaxed. I got Matt completely out of my system and never felt so much stress-free in my life. I did have to work a bit on my laptop because my company needed me, but it was mostly work that I could do easily and for everyone. Even better news, my divorce got finalized while I was chilling by the pool. I'm so glad that my mother forced me into a prenup and Matt got nothing from me, all thanks to my untrusting mother who's suspicious of everybody. And for Lucy and Alina, I made sure to post as many pictures of me in Italy as I could, and I got mean comments and text messages from them on each and every single one. Clearly, my plan to humiliate them and front their family once again was successful, and they're furious. I couldn't be much happier. I only heard about this from a friend, but Matt is not seeing Sally anymore. Apparently, Sally had more feelings for Matt than Matt did for her. Sally has been heartbroken, but most of my friends have dropped Sally completely for being such a backstabber. I mean, sure, Sally and I were not really close, but we saw each other because of our mutual friends. Her betrayal didn't hurt much, but she did betray me at the end of the day. Well, guys, that's probably it for all the updates. Thank you for reading about my heartbreak. I wasn't expecting my life to turn out like this. When I began writing about my in-laws, I was not expecting that I would find out my husband was cheating on me, but writing it down really helped me out. So thank you.